You're listening to the Podcast Detroit Network. Visit www.podcastdetroit.com for more information.
Happy New Year. This is the IT and the D show, the first show.
That's why you couldn't hear yourself.
2017. We are here in beautiful Podcast Detroit, and we got a great show lined up for the
Bob's
first show.
First red line of 2017.
What are you going to do? We got Dan here. Segment 2, we brought Dan Fuoco here from the Detroit Convention and Visitors Bureau talking all things downtown Detroit. And then we're joined, luckily, by Jimmy McKnight of the Ninja Starship podcast.
And the Legion podcast, and et cetera.
All the podcasts.
Do you have a podcast problem? We should have an intervention.
He does. The
intervention.
We'll be talking
spreading my love everywhere, man.
2017 movies and TV shows, and should be a great conversation. But yeah, we're live.
Yeah, so hey, before we get rolling, today's episode is brought to you by Fellows Shredders. You wouldn't risk your web security by giving out your password to strangers in the street, so why risk your confidential documents falling into the wrong hands? Keep your sensitive information safe with Fellows Shredders. Fellows Shredders, and I feel like I'm reading that weird, but it's because of the way they have the syllable emphasis spelled out for you in here. So it's just Fellows Shredders. Feature unrivaled durability, premium technology, and reliable performance, earning them the title of the world's toughest shredders. I'm not going to lie, I have a ton of stuff around the house that I really probably should shred that I just throw out.
Knowing you, probably you do.
I'm not the smartest person ever. So whether shredding as an individual or a company, you can trust Fellow Shredders to be your first line of defense. To learn more about the world's toughest shredders, visit fellows.com. That's FELLOWES.com. Fellows.com. And hey, as always, thanks for the support.
Dave, you may fire when ready.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
This is Max Headroom, and what you're about to witness is one of the most sinister-sounding intros to a trailer to one of the greatest epics ever.
You're listening to the IT in the D show.
This is Billy D. Williams. Bob and Dave and I are enjoying a Colt 45 right now, and remember, IT in the D, it works every time.
Where do you guys think you are? The Library of Congress? Detroit? Beyond the sun? Any of those right?
Hi, this is Jeremy London from Mallrats, and I'm just wondering, how did I go from Hot Floridian Sex with Brandy Spinning to the ITintheD show?
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit! No, please! Anything but that! No!
I used to hang out at the Magumbo Bar. It was a rough place, the seediest dive on the wharf, populated with every reject and cutthroat from Bombay to Calcutta. It's worse than Detroit.
You will never find the more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Then don't come! Shut up!
Dig you IT geeks. This is Dre DeMatteo from Sons of Anarchy. You are listening to IT in the D.
So what happens when you tap the angry beaver in the bumhole?
Exactly.
Come on.
Someone tries. What the hell with this? I'm calling a break. We'll come back to the show.
What's up, everybody? This is Billy Zapka. Sweep the leg. Listening to IT in the D show. No mercy.
I may have to wipe the geek off.
Hi, this is Martin Cove, John Kreese from the Karate Kid movie, and you're listening to IT in the D.
Are we at a break yet?
Hi, I'm Ernie Hudson, and you're listening to IT in the D. All you nerds out there.
Nerds?
Nerds.
What is a nerd?
I'm a nerd, and I'm pretty proud of it.
This is Scott Steiner, Big Pump. IT and the D show is your hookup. Holler if you hear me.
You're in your underwear, I'm in my underwear. Hey, let's hang out.
No, I'm sorry, honey. I have a headache.
I definitely want to see Bob in his underwear. That's a fact.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
It's just too big.
How big?
It's way too big.
I can get it all the way in.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
We just lost our clean tag on iTunes.
But it's delicious.
This is Robert Hayes, Jet Striker to my mother. When I'm not hanging out at the Magumbo Bar, I'm listening to the IT and the D show. It's worse than Detroit.
Is there such thing as a meat hangover?
I love my Monday meat stick.
Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to the IT and the D show. The tough guy. Oh!
What would you little maniacs like to do first?
The question isn't what are we going to do. The question is what aren't we going to do.
Ludicrous speed! Sir, had you better buckle up? Buckle this! Ludicrous speed! Go!
Happy New Year. You are listening to what we will prove to you to be the greatest podcast we have done this year so far. This is the IT and the D show. We've made it all the way up to episode 177, recording here live in Studio One in Podcast Detroit in beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. This is Bob the Sales Guy, always hanging out with Dave the Geek, Nuri the FNG. Find us online, ITintheD.com. Segment 2, we are luckily joined by Dan Fuoco from Detroit Convention and Visitors Bureau. Visit Detroit.com, talking all things the city. And then segment 3, we are lucky to have the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy McKnight from the Ninja Starship podcast. We want to talk 2017 movies, TV shows,
podcasts,
podcasting. And if you're lucky,
it'll be dimensioned and sad, but social.
If you're lucky, we might get into a Power Rangers versus Star Wars battle to the death. To the death. But hey, do us a favor. It's 2017, new calendar. We are going to be at Nancy Whiskey, January 19th.
Yes, we are.
The third Thursday of the month from 5 until question mark. If you've never been there, it is a awesome place in a weird location in Corktown, Detroit.
Dude, it's a great place. It's in the middle of a neighborhood. And it's a phenomenal bar with a ton of history. You know, depending on who you ask, it's either the oldest or second oldest, active bar in the city of Detroit. Legend has it that that's where Hoffa, took his phone calls, during the labor disputes and all that stuff that were going on. It's a really freaking cool place.
No, trust me, I rarely walk into bars in the city and have to take a picture of the building when I'm walking up with the first.
Oh yeah.
I just went there recently. How did I miss this place? But yeah, looking forward to hanging out with them.
Yeah, and they're ecstatic about us coming down. The guy was almost the owner almost was weeping. It was hilarious. He's just so excited that a group wants to come hang at Nancy Whiskey. So
are we all happy 2016 is over?
We are. Yes, we are. I'm tired of people dying. I'm tired of
people are going to die this year, though.
I know. Is there an over/under on who the first celebrity is that's going to drop in 2017?
No. Abe Vigoda, is he still on everyone's death pool?
No, actually, he did die this past year.
Did he really?
Yeah. He did.
How about Mariah Carey? Will she die of shame?
Yeah, Mariah Carey's career died at the end. That was the last official death of 2016. Because, for the love of God. I have officially hit the point where I'm old enough that I know none of the performers on the New Year's Rockin' Eve show. Mariah Carey I knew, Lionel Richie I knew. They were on After Midnight. But yeah, Mariah, I don't care how many excuses she wants to come up with or throw out there. She was drunk.
You know
she
what?
was hammered.
You know what? I'm sticking up for Mariah.
Of course you are.
If you are, hold on, let me drop, I'm dropping a bomb right now. Yeah, go figure. If you're a performer or anythinger on New Year's Eve on TV, radio, whatever, and you're not at least 6 sheets to the wind, you're doing it wrong. Everyone should be. Ryan Seacrest not having a bottle of Hennessy in his hand is a travesty to New Year's Eve as we all know it.
I feel like Ryan Seacrest would drink Hennessy, though. I feel like he's drinking whipped vodka from donuts.
The fact that Ryan Seacrest does not have a bottle of whipped vodka is a travesty. No, seriously. She's drunk. No shit. It's New Year's Eve.
But then own it. That's all I ask.
That's right. Don't just apologize.
But thinking as a DJ, I DJ'd on New Year's Eve.
So I did for 10 years.
And you've got to be a little bit messed up, or you got to be slightly intoxicated. But if you're too intoxicated to perform, why are people paying you all that money? That's kind of the way that
there's a line. You got to be at the ball.
You've got to be in that Balmer zone.
The Balmer zone, exactly. If you're 0.08 to 0.12, fine. When you're 0.17,
for me, it's 4 beers is about the top of my performance.
That's a 0.08, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then it just falls off.
Sure, 4 beers and a shot. Then you're
maybe some whippets, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Poor Mariah.
Balance it out, yeah.
Right. Poor Mariah.
But no, so it is us. We always talk geek stuff, So George Michael died at the end of the year, as did Carrie Fisher, which everybody internet went nuts because Carrie Fisher died, followed the day after by her mom, Debbie Reynolds.
That's crazy.
But Twitter happened. Of course. And so Cinnabon
was the first one.
Threw out the picture, the drawn picture of Princess Leia with a Cinnabon, and everybody called them cinnamon buns. Her hairdo in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah,
for
totally.
40 years. That's been going on. And they captioned the picture, you'll always have, the greatest buns or the nicest buns or something like that.
Nicest buns in the galaxy.
Yeah. Right. And Twitter got mad. And so they pulled it.
I don't understand why people got pissed off about that.
I thought it was touching and totally appropriate.
I did as well.
I think it's because all of the, Twitter is apparently 17 and didn't know that that's been a joke for 40 years. And
well, I think that's if you follow us on social, which you should, Facebook/ITintheD, you'll notice we've been joking about this for probably 8 years now. Whatever it is that you celebrate, happy that, because I dare offend anyone.
Exactly. Merry Christmas Kwanzaa.
Yeah. No, because then you miss something else. But then poor Steve Martin. And it's he's in his 70s anyway, so that even the fact that he's using Twitter, God bless him.
Well, yeah, and his tweet was something like, I met her and, she was one of the most beautiful women I ever met. And again, Twitter happened. And everybody got mad that he was a misogynist.
No, because he said she was beautiful, and then she turned out to be smart and talented. Because you can't be beautiful first and then be smart.
Well, and as we all know, everybody in their entire lives looks across a crowded, smoke-filled bar and goes, God, would you look at the sense of humor on that?
Oh, yeah. I bet you she's amazingly talented and smart.
In bed.
Yeah. Welcome to the Chinese fortune cookie episode. Hey, Bob, did you hear huge local the Lions are in the playoffs?
Whatever.
Allegedly.
Whatever.
For a week.
Yeah. Bye. Nice knowing you.
Yeah, we were. I feel we have to give a nice little shout out. Jim Grassi, great guy. He does
Today he's the coolest guy I ever met in my life.
He does the Lions Pridecast. If you go to the DetroitLions.com website and check out the media podcast, it's recorded here at Podcast Detroit. Hooked us up with sweet tickets.
I've never been to the suite at Ford Field, and
now I never want to go to a game where I'm not in the suite.
You can't not be at
It's like flying in first class. Once you get up there the first couple of times, you're you never want to fly in
No, the difference, Nuri, it's not first class, and the difference is paramount.
It's like private jet.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Because you're still sitting, you're not, I don't know how to describe it other than, you get the private entrance.
The view is ridiculous.
The view, 10 steps from a toilet, 10 steps from a beer,
stocked fridge, stocked
3 steps
food.
from food,
Yeah.
And you get to sit at a high top. It's crazy.
It's like watching a game at a bar, except you're actually
there.
Wow.
It's watching a game at your bar that no one else is allowed to be at except you and your friends. That's it. That's all. All right. So let's dive into, we have such a huge list of topics.
Hold on. Can you explain something to me?
I can try.
So we talked about.
Is this about flight?
No.
Because we had that conversation out there.
Go to our Facebook page. There's an amazing video on how flight, they don't know how it works using your phone.
Yeah.
But Uber doesn't own anything.
No.
Uber makes a lot of money.
But do they?
No.
Well,
they lost $800 million in Q3 after posting $1 billion loss in Q2.
They lost $2.8 billion in 2016.
But that's only an increase of loss of 25% from a year ago, which it was 35%.
No. So it was, that's, I love that phrase. It's, they decreased their loss.
Right.
Because they were at 35%. Now they're only at 25%.
That's like the politics thing where they say Obama decreased the deficit. Well, no, he's still in debt.
It sucked less.
Right.
It grew less than it had previously grown.
Right. Whichever makes it spin better. But how do they lose? What are they doing?
Expanding. They actually started a China expansion, which cost them a lot of money.
Well, I know they did an acquisition. That was like $1 billion of it.
I think they're also fighting tons of regulatory things. I know Airbnb spends a ton of money fighting local governments, local taxi unions, basically things. I mean, they're probably spending lots of lobby dollars.
Well, yeah, they said China. Well, and they sold off their business in China because they said they were losing $1 billion a year.
Jeez,
just in China. So yeah, I guess so. Good riddance to that one.
But they're launching. When reading more, they're launching Uber Freight.
Right. So that was the acquisition. They bought Otto.
Right.
Which I thought was the pilot from Airplane that popped out of the seat.
That's where they got it from.
Yeah.
But it's a scary proposition when you talk driverless cars. Auto shows next week. We're there. It's going to happen in the next 2 years there's going to be a lot of, in certain cities, there's going to be Ubers or delivery vehicles.
So they tried the Johnny Cab thing in Frisco, and it got pulled. In fact, that was the week of our last show. They had pulled them that week. I still don't think you could, like, if you could do a clean sweep and get every human driven car off the road and replace it with a self-driving car, I think you'd be fine. But to have self-driving cars on this, which are programmatic, logical, do their thing, with humans that are random and do stupid shit, that's going to be a debacle.
Oh, what happens if you're in an Uber self-drive, like a Johnny Cab, and it gets schmucked by another car? And then
that's always been my question. Or it hits another car.
Or yeah, so like, and you sit in the back seat like, I don't know.
They have to analyze like the code. They'll have to like call the programmers in. Like, okay, so what was the decision made by the car?
That's always been my question. Who gets sued?
Ooh.
Like when you do the whole go home car, I'm drunk, and your car is driving itself and makes the decision to not hit the little Mini Cooper with teenagers in it because there's the Humvee next to you with just one person in it. Who does the Humvee driver sue? Do they sue you? Is it the car manufacturer? Is it the software writer?
Whoa.
Is it to me, like, that's the regulatory nonsense that's going to keep it from being on the road.
No, the nonsense is going to be when the cop stops the accident and he has to give a ticket, and the guy sitting in the back seat is going to It's got to give a back seat and go, yeah, I'm giving it to you because I have to give someone a ticket. And he's like, I'm just a passenger in this damn Uber car. And then,
yes, I never even thought about that.
I did see an interesting article today, though, that said that the amount of they're expecting an organ shortage if we go full self-driver or full basically driverless cars because so many
people won't be killing themselves.
Exactly. So that was really interesting. And also thinking about the truck driving company, there's like 3.5 million professional truck drivers in the United States.
That's one of the biggest professions for like non-college educated.
Right, and it still makes good money, right? Truck
Sure.
drivers make between 40 and 60 a year, which is
what will happen to all those infomercials?
Truck driving schools?
Yeah,
I know, right?
They're on like 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. That's apparently that's when the truck driving school demographic is watching TV.
I met a guy at BFD. We talked about that owns one. Like
a
that's
truck driving school?
His family's business. And
Really?
He took it over. He's like 28, 32 or something. And I go, do you run all those commercials late at night? Because they're awesome. He's like, we haven't yet, but we're thinking about it. But yeah, it's a thing apparently.
So I feel like that's someone we need to have on the show to talk about Uber Freight. that would be amazing.
But then the thing is, though, if you talk about truck driving jobs going away, Amazon's kind of launching when they're doing that hour service. Like there was reported that they're opening up a distribution center in Livonia, Michigan. They're going to hire 1,000 people.
Yeah, so it's supposed to open October of next year.
But a lot of bigger cities are offering 1 hour delivery.
Well, and Detroit's one of them.
Right. So they're offering 25.
Prime now.
Yeah, exactly. Prime.
I think in Seattle you could actually get booze delivered to you by Amazon in an hour as well.
You can. So what happens is they're offering and saying, hey, you're not making a lot of money on Uber because we hear a lot of times if you're not getting surge, you're making not good money. They're offering minimum $25 an hour to deliver 1 hour packages in these cities.
Yeah, and you can work it's like a minimum 2-hour shift, maximum 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
And you basically are just ferrying cargo.
Oh my God.
Distribution centers to wherever.
New Year's Eve was like 8x surge or something.
Oh, who is it? Steven from Batch. He was like, $47 for a 2-mile ride. Jeez. Still cheaper than a DUI.
But if you wanted to make bank, like that's like New Year's Eve. Oh my God.
Doing the math on the Amazon thing though, $25 an hour, 12 hours, 5 days a week, that's $78,000 a year. Delivering Amazon packages, which is damn good money for anybody, really.
Well, and then if you could figure out a way to also be doing Uber or Lyft while you're driving packages around. Double dipping, dude.
See? Hey, whatever works, you know
Entrepreneur.
what I mean? No, whatever. Would you rather be driving around and talking to people, or would you rather be sitting in a factory and, I'm just saying, it's whatever. Some people, create your job, whatever.
Yeah. So, well, actually, speaking of create your job, we've talked about how much we hate these notifications. They did some analysis, on Facebook Live. And apparently the vast majority of Facebook Live is, porn and, pirated content.
Go figure.
Like that's the vast majority of Facebook Live. It's, girls doing, cam shows and asking you to hit their PayPal link. And And apparently the most popular Facebook live stream for like weeks running is a pirated stream that is nothing but Tom and Jerry cartoons.
It's actually, I didn't know this live grid existed. You go to facebook.com/livemap. And it
from a desktop.
A map around the world of people live streaming. Like there's somebody streaming right now in Morocco, and I'm just clicking his link, and the screen is gray. So that was so anticlimactic. Here's somebody in Jordan clicking the link, and the screen is black. Okay.
Nice story, nerd.
I tried. Oh, here's a guy in Turkey. That's cool. Just sitting there talking. Hey, buddy.
But it's like the Korea
It's
thing.
like chat roulette.
What's? Oh God!
Guy with his dick out. Guy with his dick out. Guy with his dick.
And someone eating in Korea.
Right, yeah, the eating rooms, yeah. Actually, doubling back to Amazon, though, for a sec, one of the stories, because, we always talk, I always make fun of you, and you blatantly own it about, I don't care what my TV and everything else are recording. There's a murder case going on, and the cops want access to whatever recordings the murder suspect's Amazon Echo recorded.
And the whole planet said, recordings?
Right.
What?
Wait, what? And so, now, and Amazon basically said no. And so part of their rationale was, well, we don't really record anything until, the Alexa or, whatever, keyword.
Right.
And then everything, and the cops are like, yeah, we don't believe you because, like the Samsung TVs record everything and phone home with it.
Did you see the YouTube? It was like the number 3 trending worldwide video for the Alexa. Some 3-year-old yells, Alexa, play Tickle Tickle or something. But he's got like marble mouth like every 3-year-old has. And the Alexa says, searching porn, dildo shows, cam girls. And like, you just hear the dad go, no! And he's like, stop, Alexa, stop. And the kid's just sitting there like he doesn't know what the kid thing's saying. I didn't know. And the thing is, I don't want to say that because then it's like tracked on the app and my kids have the app. And I'm like, I so bad want to ask it to now.
Hey, Alexa, delete my search history.
Exactly.
Right.
Like you can say, Alexa, like stream, like what does it even do? Audio? That makes no sense.
Oh, it plays podcasts. It does, yeah.
I know it plays podcasts, but what's it going to play? Like audio from like porn without the video? Like what the hell did that kid uncover with this search? It makes like I need to find out. I'll report next week.
Do some market research
for science.
Back to us.
So, one of the other ones I thought was interesting is, so essentially the top 8 apps that are out there, and I guess this is really no surprise, but they're all owned by either Google or Facebook.
Sure.
So I mean, it's YouTube,
Maps.
it's Facebook, it's
Messenger.
Maps, it's Messenger. What I thought was interesting though is, so there were 2 points in there. One of it is that 80% of all app revenue comes from games. No big surprise.
Yeah.
They said your average like game that gets any kind of popularity whatsoever makes about $3,000. But the kind of interesting point in there is, are apps dead? Like there's part of the story was, so if that, you have to gain some measure of popularity to at least hit that $3,000 mark, you, the company, or you, the developer, what's your ROI for building this app? It's the same conversation we've had over and over again. That like, what are you doing that deserves real estate on my phone?
Yeah.
Like why do you deserve
That's why
a grid?
I hate Delta and Marriott and all those apps because it's no different than the mobile, the .com experience on a mobile.
Yeah, I disagree with you on the Delta app. Totally. Like I live by that thing traveling every week. That thing saves me so much time.
But it's no different it's the same experience as going to m.delta.com on your browser.
Is that a testament of how bad the app is or how good their mobile site is?
Both. But it's the same experience, right? The mobile enabled .com is no different than no different experience.
Well, so, and that's the thing. So that's, their part of this premise was, so instead of investing all this time, effort, energy, and money into, building an app, do you just go for the better mobile experience on your website, where, you can attract your customers and all that.
Well, everybody's killing the Facebook app anyway, because it's a complete battery hog. Destroys your battery.
I turned off the permissions to the microphone on my Facebook app the other day.
Yep. And not only that, if you are a data user, now that they put the caps back, that's like a third of your data cap if you're a regular Facebook user on that app.
Well, and that was one of the things that was in there is that, Facebook's obviously like one of the, I think it was the number one app. And they said people use the Facebook app for an average of 50 minutes a day.
It doesn't surprise me at all.
Crazy. I didn't think it was that huge.
For you, it's probably triple. For me, it's probably double.
Details.
And we're grown men, for crying out. Imagine if you were 18.
Right. So let's talk some stupidity. The first one I want to get into is Mark Cuban. Mark.
You're so cute, Mark.
Mark. We like you. You know, Shark Tank, love the show. What you've done with, you know, basketball, great. You're a cool owner. Life's good.
You have an awesome last name.
Yeah, Cuban. You're a great cigar. Love the cigars. Big fan. Stay off Twitter.
You swindled Yahoo for $1 billion.
Right. Just stay off Twitter.
You know what? So just jumping right in, he did what all of our friends do that we hate on Facebook. It said, by posting this, I give Mark Zuckerberg no permission to charge me $5 or whatever the stupid copyright. Cuban goes off and does that. Like, you can't retweet me. That's basically what he told everyone.
Well, no, that his tweets couldn't be used without his express permission. So his whole point was that, you know, ESPN couldn't pick up a tweet and use it in an article and that kind of stuff. And that's not how that works. That's not how any of that works.
If that was the case, we'd have no stories at all about Donald Trump. I mean, come on. Right?
Exactly.
Every half an hour for the rest of our 8 years, whatever. Anyway.
Right. But yes, So yeah, Mark
he got destroyed over that, by the way. But the way I look at it, he's batting .990.
He says it was an experiment. He knew it would drive people crazy.
He's one of those that can't admit he's wrong.
Backpedal. Yeah, no, I was testing you.
No, but
That's all
I'll be honest, he's pretty much bulletproof from the fact of he's like
Mark Cuban. He's a pretty
Mark
smart
Cuban.
guy.
I mean, he wants to run for president. What the hell at this point? You know, go do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bob, we have to have new shirts made.
What?
We have to have new shirts made.
Why?
So for those who missed the great event of 2016, or actually was it 2015, when Applebee's opened up.
Oh my God, how did I forget about this?
You know, we had shirts made, you know, they were the Applebee's logo with, the Old English D instead of the Apple. We walked in, the people that owned the place thought we were from corporate. It was phenomenal. But now that same group.
Hang on. May I? This is Godfather music worthy. I want to go off on the Detroit Free Press. This was on Freep.com. This was breaking news in red on top, like Russia bombed the Ukraine, announcing that Detroit is getting the world's first IHOP Applebee's fusion restaurant. It was breaking news that Detroit. Let's do this again. It was push notificationing to people's phones, if that's even a word. Detroit is how slow of a news year? It hasn't been a slow news year, and that's breaking news.
Yeah.
I think it was because the Detroit Applebee's generated so many clicks for them, right? That was like probably their biggest stories of the year. And so we'll do it again. It's Applebee's and it's IHOP and it's combined.
Because they were clicking because of Detroit IHOPlebee's. They were clicking because how ridiculous is you're writing a story about it. Like for the love of all that's good and holy, it's an it's. If there was a Waffle House coming to Detroit, stop the press.
Would you like a Waffle House Olive Garden, maybe?
Oh.
So we get soup, salad, and unlimited waffles?
Waffle Garden.
Not the Waffle Garden. That article was like complete shit, too. 300-seat, quote, gastronomic experiment.
Oh, come on. I'll give you gas.
After eating there, yes, you probably will.
And it's supposed to be oriented to guests in nearby hotels as well as downtown visitors, office workers, and restaurants. Who's staying in the Renaissance Center eats at a combination Apple Hop, right?
IHOPlebee's.
Who's going to do it?
No one.
No one.
No.
I wish some good luck.
Every time
any tourist with fanny packs will go to IHOPlebee's.
No, but I'll be honest. Detroit is lacking. There's only one breakfast place downtown.
There are so many breakfast places downtown.
There's a lot of breakfast places downtown.
No, I mean on Woodward there you got
the Grand Trunk does amazing brunch.
Yeah, but I'm talking like 8 a.m. breakfast.
Go to Corktown. There's
not 8 a.m.
Yeah.
For the business crowd. IHOP's going to be packed in the morning.
Yeah. Well, and that was one of the, because they do have one. They have an IHOP on Jefferson. And, that was one of the questions was, is this going to, impact business?
No.
Can we go to the grand opening?
We're having shirts made.
Yeah,
Right, so
parade.
Make
I
let
want to
the-
go to this one because I missed the Applebee's
I'm gonna take this day off.
celebration.
Oh, yeah,
we should take the entire day off. It's a national holiday in Detroit.
It is.
So now I got to register DetroitIHopplebees.com and may or may not point into our.
Hypothetically speaking.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break.
No, we're not, because there's still one
Oh,
more.
boy.
It's your favorite person in the free world. We all know, because we talked about it a lot last year, the fun and excitement with the Galaxy Note 7s that were little exploding devices from hell. And they were banned by the TSA with good reason, because, well, they were blowing up, and that's a problem.
It got
on a
CeeLo
plane.
green, too, right? Like late last year, CeeLo had his...
Yep.
Yeah.
Some dipwit.
No, let's be honest. Some amazing human being.
Some American hero.
A stewardess noticed a
flight attendant, Dave.
Whatever. Noticed I'm going to call her a stewardess, a Wi-Fi hotspot that became available named Galaxy Note 7. They didn't ground the flight. Apparently only because she figured out who it was, and the guy said he thought he was just being funny. Apparently the TSA did not think he was being funny, and he was apparently detained when the plane landed for quite some time with a little conversation that I'm sure he will not forget.
He's hilarious.
I feel like that's someone we should have on the show.
If you're listening, and I know you are, we want to feature you on the show. No, because that was always the joke at work, especially in sales, is don't talk about, like, what is it? Did you bring the bomb? And it's a bill of materials for anyone in sales.
Right.
Right?
Dude, living in DC, that was, because, I mean, like, it's well-known fact that and this is even back in the early 90s, every phone call within a certain radius of DC goes through the phone banks, that goes through the computers, the NSA, and they filter on keywords. Just the way it's always been.
Every third sales call, when someone says, "Did you put the bomb together?" I said, "Hi, FBI." Like someone, right? Like it's become a running joke. So like you can't talk about sales on the plane. Like we've known this for a long time. Now, jokes, it's not funny. Like we joke that it's funny, but it's not. The guy thought you just can't. That's why I hate Southwest, because this is a humorless a part of my life right now. There's no time for jokes. The only joke I get to make is when we land and I get to look at the pilot when he says bye-bye and say, "I just want to wish you both good luck. We're all counting on you."
Yeah.
And then leave the plane. That's the only joke that's allowed on an airplane, is after we've landed and I'm walking off. Not during, not going up, not before, right?
There was something in the comments that pissed me off, though. Some guy's like, well, they just could have checked the BSS ID on the MAC address and cross-referenced the manufacturer database to find out if it was a real Galaxy Note 7. I'm like, this is a flight attendant.
Right.
They're going to do
Mid-air.
that, sure.
I'm pretty sure that's not in their, no.
It's on the training manual? No?
Yeah.
So can we do another one with CNN, Dupas? CNN, whoever got the stock photo, they're talking about Russia and Russian hacking, like the everyday story that everybody's talking about. They used a screenshot from Fallout 4 that you used to hack the old green terminals. So yeah, good luck with that one. They got called out on it pretty hard.
It could have been worse. They could have pulled up, an old, war game screenshot and had, CPE 1704 TKS or something up there.
What's your call sign? All right, so we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Jimmy McKnight. It looks like Dan's still on the road. We'll be back. Jimmy McKnight, Ninja Starship podcast. This is the IT and the D show. We'll be right back.
IT in the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit, one beer at a time.
Hey, this is John Snyder from Nip Tuck Smallville, the haves and the have-nots. Oh, Dr. Quinn, Hot in Cleveland. Secret Life of the American Teenager, and just about everything you can possibly imagine. And oh yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard. You're listening to Bob and Dave. It's the IT in the D show.
ITintheD.com.
Welcome back. Segment 2, episode 177 of the IT and the D show. Guaranteed to be the best podcast we have done this year so far.
Setting that bar high.
This is Bob, the sales guy.
Well, in the next week, we'll either be the best show or the worst show we've done so far this year.
I am Bob, the sales guy. That is Dave, the geek. Nuri, the FNG, is in the house. And we forgot. We got Randy. Randy doing the Twitters in the house. Sitting to my right, if you're keeping score at home. Find us online.
Yeah, moving from left to right across your radio dial.
ITintheD.com. Follow us on the Twitters. Like us on the Facebook, and subscribe to us anywhere fine podcasts are sold. And I don't know how we're lucky enough to be graced by his presence, but we have none other than Jimmy McKnight here from the Ninja Starship podcast. What the hell's going on?
The reflection of perfection is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
He's been working that up all day.
I have. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
I was almost expecting a woo there.
The Turkish millionaire is in the house.
That's so true.
No, so Jimmy does a show on our network, Ninja Starship with Jimmy McKnight, and it's pop culture, comics, movies centric. We make fun of him a lot because I'm sure the photo was out there. But if you've never seen Jimmy, Jimmy's a welder. Jimmy's all tatted up, including like all up the neck, and yet Jimmy, tell us about the 6th Power Ranger coin.
Dude, there's nothing better than the 6th Power Ranger coin, okay? No, but it's, I love Power Rangers, man. The tattoos and stuff all just kind of came with the job, you figured if you showed up without tattoos, it's like, this guy's not going to make it, dude. He's not tough enough, So you showed up with the tattoos, you got the job, even if you didn't know how to weld. So that way it worked,
So it's like wearing the suit to the interview.
Exactly.
Right,
yeah. Yes, I can do that. And then figure it out as you go. That's what I did 12 years ago.
No, so we consider you one of a subject matter expert in terms of like kind of like the cool shows and movies coming out. So we kind of wanted to get last show we did a couple weeks ago. Oh my God, it seems like forever ago. We talked about all of the crazy movies. There was a laundry list of 2017. Oh, by the way, what I totally forgot, 2017 was the year Running Man was in the movie.
Really?
Yes. I totally forgot to bring that up. And Barbed Wire with Pam Anderson.
Oh, jeez.
Another one? Oh, no, wait, that's when it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was set in 2017. Just like, no,
to be able to do that again.
No, there's like Blade Runners in 2 years, but that's,
Harry Potter retrospective was set in this year too.
I didn't understand that reference, so I didn't bother bringing it up. I saw that.
And this is why Randy's usually at home doing the Twitters.
I'm like, Harry Potter, wasn't that like old ago? Like Lord of the Rings? I don't know. But I mean, obviously, let's you want to dive into Power Rangers?
We can dive into Power Rangers.
So I mean, let's talk about the library of Jimmy McKnight. So we met you at Fantasticon last year. Mm-hmm. Actually, well, not. Whatever, 14 months ago. Yeah. Back in 2015 when we did it. And it was hilarious because I totally remember you walking up to the booth and you were just a ball of effing energy and, going on about, this podcast you were doing and this is what you were ready to take that next step and you wanted to you start working in a studio. And we sat there and talked to you and then you walked away and I remember looking at Bob going, damn it, I love his enthusiasm. We'll see what happens. And you kicked ass. I mean, you've kicked ass over this past year, man. Like you are at a ton of cons. You're moderating panels. You're out there doing all kinds of stuff to the point where now you've got other podcasts running, which, like we've got a couple that we're playing with. Mm-hmm. But I mean, so, you're working on one for Legion, a show that's coming out this year on, is it FX?
Network? Yeah. Legion, the podcast.
I want to talk about that show, by the way. It looks phenomenal.
Yeah. What was the other one? Bullets and Muscles?
Muscles and Bullets.
Muscles and Bullets.
Almost at it. Yep.
I mean, it's MB, not BM.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
The 80s, 90s, Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
Yes. And the Slime Chronicles.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Which I still say should be called You Can't Do That on a Podcast.
That's true. that should be. No, but it's been fun, man. It's like, I started the Ninja Starship podcast a little over a year and a half ago. And now that it's kind of, we just put so much effort into it. And it started with me. And then I got Will from Top Rope Review, who's also on Podcast Detroit. And now Will and I have brought in Norm. who happened to just be a guest that we didn't want to let go. We were like, yeah, come back. We just loved him.
We have no idea what that's like.
Yeah, the beer was good. The beer was cold.
That's what Norm said. The beer was cold. So, and we kept Norm, and now that things are really starting to kind of just chug along with the Ninja Starship, we felt comfortable enough that we can go on and do other shows, and this year really seems to be the year of the recap podcast. Because before it even started, I'm already locked up to do all recap shows. Like everything that we're launching this year is nothing but recap shows.
Well, and the weird thing about that, because I remember having that conversation about Westworld, where like by week 2, there were just a cajillion Westworld podcasts out there. And so the thing is, if you're going to do it, you need to do something and get it out and get it listed before the show even hits.
Absolutely. And the reason that we kind of jumped on the Legion, the podcast bandwagon like we did is because another co-host that we have on Legion, the podcast, is a friend of mine, Brian, from another show called Pop Culture Leftovers.
Yep.
He and another podcaster named Ashley Garbs started the Sweetwater Saloon podcast, which is a Westworld recap show. That kind of started us down this whole recap genre this year. But watching him go through that was kind of the formula to get this started, because we noticed like, okay, they had their podcast up. The show aired the next day. You're right. A gajillion Westworld shows. And they were fortunate enough to be, received enough and promoted enough to actually do well, and do very well. And they were actually, I think there was like CNN or one of the giant news companies named them their Westworld podcast for the review. So it was pretty sweet. And then we figured, hey, you kind of got this recap thing down. Let's move it into Legion, because this show is just, at least in our minds, going to be the 2017 show of the year. I mean, you're diving into Professor Xavier's son.
I was going to say, so for those of you who have no idea what Legion's going to be, shoot.
Legion the show is going to be basically focused on Legion, who is Professor X's son. Okay, and arguably one of the, if not the most powerful mutant that the Marvel Universe has ever created, ever. And what he is he basically has multiple personalities living within inside him. Like some 16, 17 multiple personalities living within inside him, which is why we are Legion, because they all work together with inside him. And it's just supposed to be just this crazy heady show. Our first episode was just guessing what this show was going to be about. So it was like, yeah, let's review the show that we haven't seen yet. Let's see how good this goes. But we're going to get it out there, you know, as long as we got it out there. That was the deal.
Is Marvel putting out so many movies they've gotten to the point now where they're doing FX shows? Because you'd think that this would be like a Fox 2 show, or something to that degree. You wonder why it's gone the FX route. Or does it matter anymore with cable?
I think it does, because I think after Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marvel's trying to make up for it in the TV market, because DC has slapped them down as far as putting the content out and actually giving something that's awesome.
It's like all CW is anymore is like the DC network.
You're right. Yeah, and now they're moving, now other networks are starting to do, the comic book shows as well. Marvel, and I'm not trying to talk down on Marvel, because Marvel really has the Netflix market down. Everything they've been putting out on Netflix, killing it.
Super highly
Daredevil,
produced,
all that stuff. Oh my God. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Now we got Iron Fist coming. We got the Defenders coming. A Punisher series is on its way. This is all stuff that it's like, yes, thank you. Give me more. But now that you see like that's in the Netflix medium.
Well, so, and I guess that's a good question. Like, are they going the FX route because Marvel has the Netflix market cornered?
I think so. Well, Legion is a Marvel show, but I'm thinking that, Netflix is one thing. You can do whatever you really want on Netflix without the actual network TV guidelines.
Right.
Now with Legion, it's almost like,
spreading their wings a little bit more.
They're spreading their wings a little bit more and just get it out there and kind of take what they have with this good working Marvel formula that they have on Netflix and just put it into some other shows that isn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because unfortunately that's what everybody thinks of. And I know they're doing some stuff with Ghost Rider.
I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And are you one of them that it's good now?
The first 6 episodes were really bad, but once you powered through those, it's been phenomenal ever since.
They lost me season 1.
Season 1 I couldn't do it.
I watched
I
the
forced
first
myself
half.
through
Once-
season 1.
Once the tie-in with Captain America Civil War happens, then it just nonstop after that.
It's better, really?
Wait for that.
Maybe I'll have to go back then. I trust you, Randy.
But with Legion, though, it's not Marvel doing the show; it's Fox.
It's Fox. Yes.
Fox has the film rights to the X-Men characters.
To anything mutant. Yeah.
Yes. Right. But I do believe that they're working a little bit closer together now with this. You know, it's not just so like, oh, we have the X-Men characters, we're doing our thing. Like Fox has kind of really realized that Marvel knows what they're doing and they're going to work with them.
I'd be curious to see how that plays out because I know, like, you know, Marvel, they've made the stand, you know, that there are no more mutants coming in the comics.
Yeah.
You know, they're going that, what is it, Inhuman or Inhumanoid that they're calling them? Yeah. Because that technically gets them out of the verbiage that gives Fox the rights to, you know, the screen rights to everything.
And they premiered season 3 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's, I wonder if that's maybe Fox trying to capitalize why they still can then.
I think so. I mean, good business, right?
Yeah. You got it. Might as well. It's a license to print money. You might as well use it.
May as well use it, yeah. Especially with those characters.
Right.
You know, why not? So.
Well, we just looked, just from the movies alone that are coming out in 2017, there's going to be a superhero movie like almost every month, if not 2 a month, for the entire year.
Yeah, we have a lot coming out this year. I know some of the big ones that we're looking forward to is like Black Panther, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
Wait, is Black Panther coming out this year?
No,
I think that's
2018.
I think that's 18.
Okay, yeah. So, but Guardians of the Galaxy for sure.
So,
Volume 2. Oh my God, man. Power Rangers.
Deadpool 2.
That's not this year. That's 18, isn't it?
No, they announced it for coming out
this
17,
year.
Yeah.
What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's super exciting. Hell yeah.
Well,
man.
you've got the Wonder Woman solo flick,
right?
That's coming out.
Justice League.
Logan. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Well, and then of course, getting out of the, you got, you know, episode 8 coming out.
Right.
Or Ragnarok.
Yeah.
As well. Beauty and the Beast.
It's going to be nonsense. I don't even know how I'm going to make it to the
Yeah, exactly. The Spider-Man with the
No, I'm not going to go see that.
I still don't know how I feel about
Nothing's better than the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, come on. Oh, that's going to look, dude, I'm not going to, I love those friggin' games. I love those friggin' movies.
This weekend is Underworld Blood Wars.
Oh, yeah.
See, and I love Kate Beckinsale like nobody else on this planet. Meh. Like, isn't it done yet? I think
this is the last one.
Dude, like the last movie, I was like, no.
Give me another Blade movie. What's the Mila Jovovich one? Like, they keep doing that one every.
Oh, I just saw the commercial for that one.
Resident Evil. Yeah, they keep doing that every 2 years.
And it's called Resident Evil: The Final Chapter or whatever it is. Please.
There's another Friday the 13th coming out this year.
What?
And it's not fighting the Leprechaun, which is crap.
There's also an Emoji movie coming out this year. I can't wait to see that one.
Ugh.
Yeah, in August.
Yeah. He's been holding his breath for a minute and a half trying to get that out.
Just when you thought 2016, was the worst thing that could happen.
They also
Here's the
remade
Emoji
Jumanji
movie.
with The Rock. That's coming out this year.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I like the way the superhero movies are going though, because I feel like studio executives are out of ideas. Right. And so you've got all these really great stories that go back
in the comics,
like 100 years, right? So why don't you start capitalizing on those? And they are. And so it works.
And stop remaking Footloose.
Okay, now we brought this up on the Ninja Starship. How is it that
Hashtag cheap plug.
How is it that we can have these comic book movies now and with a formula that's working so well, at least for Marvel, and you can't do the same thing with video game movies? Like, I just went and saw Assassin's Creed, and be it all that it has a pretty damn good cast. You got Michael Fassbender, Jeremy Irons. There's some good people.
It's Magneto.
It's Magneto.
Right.
I mean, and he's been in pretty decent movies, arguably the X-Men movies, whatever, but he's been in pretty decent movies.
It's the guy that's been in all that stuff you don't know what the hell his name is.
Right, but you don't think like this movie's going to suck. Out of all of it, I thought this is
Wait, don't even tell me.
It sucked.
Oh, they looked like it was going to be. How do you make that movie suck?
I know, dude. You want to know why? You speed it up. That's what happened. There was zero character development. You almost had a Jesus story where the guy goes from 0 to 35 with no character development. Like he's like 11 years old, and then you see him at 37 or whatever fully grown Michael Fassbender age is.
That's Superman?
And he's in jail, kill the pimp, and he's going to be executed. And then he gets, executed, but you're not really executed. You wake up in this thing, and now you can earn your freedom and blah, blah, blah.
Wasn't that Point of No Return with Bridget Fonda?
You see what I'm saying? Right, with the collars? Yeah. Okay, now, but it was just way too fast, and there was so much potential in this. Like, even watching it, you're like, that part's cool. That part's really cool. But you killed it.
I've never thought, I don't know that I've ever seen a good video game franchise translated to a movie. And I don't know that you really can, because to me, that's almost...
Tron!
End of story.
Hey, yeah.
Movie came first.
Did it?
Yeah.
Shit.
So again,
I don't think Flynn Enterprises was around.
No. So I mean, to me, it's almost like Stephen King books. You can't do a Stephen King book justice in like a TV movie, because I mean, they're all usually ungodly long. You know, you can do the short stories like Stand By Me and that kind of stuff, and they come off okay. You can do some of them part of the way, like Christine, Cujo, that kind of stuff, and they come off okay. But then you get into like some of the really heavy stuff that's like the longer the work gets, like The Stand, It, that sort of thing. No, you can't. And there's an It movie coming out now, because you've got people that are that know the book inside and out, just like you've got people that are obsessed with the video game. Because I mean, let's be honest, who's going to go see Assassin's Creed that isn't already a fan of the game?
That's true.
So if you're already a fan of the game, you've already played it. So you've spent countless hours exploring, roaming, playing, doing whatever, all the stuff in that game. And they're going to try to compress that entire experience down into a movie.
It was like the Beavis and Butthead movie, the South Park movie, Simpsons movie, Entourage. It's like you can't make those movies. Like, after you've watched the series for 7 years, and then they're going to try to drop an hour-and-a-half movie. What could you possibly do that?
But see, at that point, it's almost closure. Like, I mean, on the Entourage movie, I understood. The South Park movie was just, hey, we can't do this on Comedy Central, so we want to do it.
Entourage was no different than the show. The show it was the same thing.
Yeah, like the X-Files. They did the X-Files movies. In between, I don't know, whatever, season 6 and 7, whatever it was. Same kind of thing. It's that. Whether it's the, bonus material or that kind of, but like, I don't see that same thing or that same hook with a video game.
I just see it as, if you pick a franchise such as Assassin's Creed that has such a backstory and lore already attached to it.
Or Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six or Halo.
For you.
Right, exactly.
It's written for you.
Yeah.
Pay homage to the great work that's already there. Sorry. To the great work that's already there. And just, accentuate it. You don't have to cheapen it up. Sorry, I get passionate about this stuff.
No, I'll tell you.
Well, I'm looking right now just top and worst video game movies of all time.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Mortal Kombat.
And I like that one.
That wasn't
it's wonderfully
bad.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah, it's bad, but it's still great.
I would like to see it done today. Cause it was a little bit hokey.
It's dated and cheesy.
Goro was, the CGI could have been a lot better.
Right.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat was great though. And I love the Super Mario Brothers movie. I know it does absolutely. Listen, it does horrible tribute to the source material of the game, but it's still a fun movie.
Isn't that the one that has the stupid twin brothers that were in Cannonball Run in it, the muscly dudes?
Muscle guys?
Yeah. Barbarian Brothers.
Yeah.
No, they were in the DC Cab.
I thought they were in Mario Brothers for some reason too.
Was it movie with Macaulay Culkin? Was it the Game Master or Fred Savage? Who was it?
Fred Savage with the Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah, and Mario 3. That was a good video game.
That's got to be that stupid Power Glove movie has to be on that list. So I guess let's talk cons.
Okay.
So like I said, I mean, you're going all over the place. Yes. Cons, moderating panels, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Why? What do those other cons offer that say, oh, by the way, we're signed up again, for Motor City Comic Con. But we went through that. I went through that 7 times last year. So we'll see if this one actually sticks or if I have to do it again and again and again. Okay. But so what does, like the Lexington Con or Philly or, those other places that you're going, what's there that isn't here at a local con?
Well, at least with us, the Philadelphia Comic Con, We do that every year. That's something that, we're going back for our second year now, and it doesn't seem like we're going to stop anytime soon. It is a con that Jason Clark, who hosts a show called An Elegant Weapon, also on Podcast Detroit, had a great connection with a guy named Stan Konopka, who is the guy who basically runs the Artist Alley of Great Philadelphia Comic Con. They needed moderators, and they called us down, and we just did a great job, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Power Ranger, do I have to?
Come down and talk to Power Rangers and, famous Star Trek people that you'll never get a chance to meet, or Star Wars people, whatever. Sure, yeah, let's do it. So we went down there and we moderated the panels, and it was just what they offered. To answer your question, was just the opportunity.
Yeah.
All they did is said, hey, you want to come down? Yes, we do.
Yep, sure.
Same thing with Lexington. Lexington offers the opportunity, at least for our audience. Our audience is very Power Ranger based because I am such a Power Ranger fan. That con is Power Ranger heavy. It is very Power Ranger heavy.
So it'll be a little crowded this year.
Very crowded, absolutely, because the movie's coming out. So what we're trying to do is get down there and actually do the Ninja Starship live in at the Lexington Comic Con, because the Power Ranger movie opens up. I think it's like the following week or 2 weeks after that. Well, why not do a live show all about the Power Ranger stuff and get all the fans in that area to talk about the movie?
Right.
So it's just opportunity. That's really it. And it's promotion. It's promotion. It gets it out there. It's hard in the internet on the internet to just get out there and be like, hey, check out my show. Come watch my show, or come read this. You actually get out there and create an experience with the people,
I like when we were yakking yesterday, I like the analogy you used, that it's kind of like being in a band. It's, you can practice in the studio all you want to, but you have to get out in front of people and be live if you really want to grow an audience.
That's true. And that's the only way I know how to promote things, because I was in a band before. So now I'm in the podcast and I'm like, well, we'll just do it the same way. It's got to work. We'll see what happens.
It's interesting. Like we've gone to a couple, but I mean, they've all been around here. I'm curious.
Because we can't go to C2E2 as Podcast Detroit. I don't think it makes sense. Maybe it does. I don't know.
I think you can.
Yeah. So we rebrand everything. We've been kicking that idea around anyway.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Find a name.
So I guess same kind of thing this year. And Philly is home to, and it totally just dawned on me when I was yakking with Bob the other day. The points of interest guys. We ran into them, and if I had probably a 20, 25 minute conversation with them outside smoking when we went to the ECW show, with Mark, back in, what was it, July?
Oh God, I don't even know.
Yeah. It totally didn't even dawn on me that those, like all the conversations we've had about it didn't click until I was yakking with him. I'm like, oh yeah. Met those guys down in Philly.
Was it Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Hawks.
Yep.
Yeah, great guy, dude. Yeah.
That was fun.
He's the POI front runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Good conversations. All right. So, do we want to wrap? We want to go someplace else? What do you want to do?
Well, we have to do, we've been teasing Star Wars versus Power Rangers.
Okay.
So how about we take a quick break and we'll do our last 15 minutes as the battle royal.
Get your mouth guards in.
Yeah. Hey, this is the IT and the D show, and we'll be right back.
IT and the D. Read, meet, listen. Networking Detroit. One beer at a time.
Hi, I'm Brittany Daniel from The Game, and you're listening to IT and the D show.
ITintheD.com.
Welcome back, segment 3. Happy New Year. This is episode 177, the IT and the D show, broadcasting here in Podcast Detroit, beautiful Royal Oak, Michigan. It's Bob the Sales Guy here with Dave the Geek, Nerdy the FNG. Randy is in the studio doing the Twitters. Find us online, ITintheD.com.
The source for all the things.
Exactly. Check out the Meet tab. That's MEET for all the meetups this year. The schedule is done. Thank you, Dave, for that.
Can we resolve to make meat sticks this year, like actual ones?
Yeah, I'll call Winter's private label brands. They said they weren't ready last year, and I'll ask them if they're ready now.
Dude, it'd be so badass.
Yeah,
be the exclusive brand of my house.
Then we sell beef jerky at cons to pay for the tables.
Monday Night Meat Sticks.
Yeah, Monday Night Meat Sticks. It's so good. But can I eat them on Tuesday?
No.
Oh.
only Mondays. That's how that works.
So we promised. We've been teasing it for a while. We're gonna do you have 2 Star Wars geeks here, one more geek than the other, and you have a Power Rangers. Dare I call you fanatical?
guy.
Randy's calling himself as a Power Rangers
All right,
guy.
well, and let's take a step back. So I was
where
here,
this started, yeah.
So I was here one day, and we were just talking shows and that kind of stuff, and Jimmy announced that The Walking Dead was stupid because it was too formula driven. Now let's let that sink in. The Walking Dead is too formula driven. This coming from a man who is obsessed with a show that basically has the same thing happen every episode.
I like
bunch
Power
of kids
Rangers
sitting around.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a monster. Hey, now we're in suits. Hey, we kicked the monster's ass. Wait, next week. Bunch of kids sitting around. Hey, there's a monster. Hey, now we're in our suits. Kick the monster's ass.
It was Voltron.
Wait, next week. Bunch of kids sitting around. Hey, there's a monster. Now we're in our suits. Kick the monster's ass. Lather, rinse, repeat. But The Walking Dead is too formula driven.
See, now, do you not think there was a...
We show up to a new place. People try to screw us over. Oh my gosh, zombies come.
But that happens like
End
every
of season.
That's like every 8 episodes, not every episode.
No, wait, somebody gets lost. Somebody gets lost.
Right.
Halfway through the season. That goes on a 3-story arc.
Right.
And then it comes
nobody
back.
cares about.
No, if Power Rangers followed Walking Dead, you'd have some like tertiary garbage character. They would do an entire episode of him just like sitting in a house talking. And that would be the whole episode. Then next week it would be like all hell would break loose.
The keeper of the stone.
Right. Just it's about him.
And nobody grows colossal size in The Walking Dead. Just saying.
Yeah.
So where does it stack rank? I mean, because if you, when I grew up with all the kaiju stuff, right, with Johnny Sacco, Ultraman, Battle of the Planets from a cartoon, Akira from watching old anime,
Old animes, yeah,
and Voltron,
and I'll form the head.
Yeah, then Voltron, and then so those are all kind of intertwined to me.
Yeah,
and then here comes Power Rangers, like. I liked it because I liked that stuff, but it was that stuff.
Yeah, it was. And it all came from Japan. It's all
right.
the same stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It's all Super Sentai. We just completely destroyed what was the Japan show and made it Power Rangers. And it took off. And it did absolutely great.
Because Merca.
No, it was...
it was an
to me, it was
phenomenon.
I mean... Don't take this the wrong way. It was so bad it was good. I couldn't not watch it. And it was so hokey, almost like it mocked the genre, but it wasn't like,
cause the monsters were always like the guy
like
in
the
Godzilla
inflatable
suit.
Right. No,
yeah.
like an inflatable Jabba the Hutt suit, like, and he like never even, they like
it's a phenomenal mental image.
The monsters never did shit though. They didn't like knock down a building. Like if you look at superhero movies now, the Earth's always going to explode.
Yeah.
Or like Avengers.
Right. A giant hole in the sky is going to open up.
Right.
And aliens come out
everywhere. And Power Rangers just like he would just show up in the mountains and like how did he always find them? Like the monster. Like
well, see, in at least in Mighty Morphin, Rita was always watching them. So she would see where they would go and then send her putties and stuff after them, and then they would be in a constant state of confrontation.
Putties?
Putties, yes.
Wasn't that the guy that Elaine dated on Seinfeld that painted his face?
Could be.
All of the monsters in Power Rangers were made by an
Walmart?
Finster. And he would literally make things out of clay and put them through this monster maker, and then poof, the monster would literally show up and they send
like
them
Clash
down
of the Titans, Calibus.
But he would like literally like cookie sheet putties, and there would be like 30, 40 clay dudes on a sheet that he'd push through this giant.
Were they?
And then warriors would come out.
Hey Jimmy, were they silly?
Kind of, yeah. They were all like.
I lost on this.
I get it, silly buddy. I got you. But cool trivia. Brian Cranston.
So the evil overlord's
what was he trying to get?
No. So the evil overlord's secret weapon was an easy bake oven.
Mm-hmm. Basically, and a magical wand.
What was she trying to get though?
Control the Earth.
She was trying to take over the whole planet.
Yeah, take over the whole
with
planet.
Like one like Gur monster,
and she had a giant lion monster too. You can't forget about Goldar. He had wings and stuff. You know, she had
like Mothra.
She had a good chance.
When he teamed up with Scorpina, they smashed the whole city.
Yeah, man.
The names.
And then when
Scorpina,
Rita's brother
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rito Revolto.
Revolto showed up. That dude, it was over.
It's like
I have no words.
The best Power Rangers moment ever was the primetime reveal of the White Ranger.
Yes.
That was primetime.
In White Light episode 2, when he comes down from, because Zordon spent all night and made a new power coin because the sixth one was destroyed.
Was it sort of like the Heavenly Kid on the motorcycle?
Literally, he came down all, it was very messianic.
Who's got the better names, though? Thundercats or Power Rangers? Because the
Lion-O,
Cheetah,
Chitara,
Tigress.
Mumra, bad guy.
There's a mummy.
Hey, they definitely have way better names. Mumra versus Tommy. I mean, yeah.
Although you could be worse. Could be. I still to this day say that that drug that's out, Lipitor, sounds like a He-Man villain. Like that sounds like one of.
Did He-Man just die? Did they just write him off?
Not that I know of.
No, I just saw it 2 days ago. He-Man's in a casket, and Man-at-Arms with that crumb catcher thing underneath is looking at him. And like everyone's he's got that. What else would that thing for?
Right in his front?
Yeah, he like went to the buffet. That was like his bib.
Neck light.
What else would it be? But they like the Superman, like they did the Death of He-Man.
I see a robot chick in Death of He-Man.
No. I did too. Death of He-Man. I don't know, maybe I just saw there was the whole big casket thing and everybody was ranting about it on social and I didn't really pay too attention to it because I was bored. I don't know what.
Yeah, this is all, this looks to me like it's all robot chicken stuff as far as Death of He-Man. You can't kill How do you kill He-Man?
Oh, yeah, right here. DC's He-Man Thundercats crossover kills an iconic character.
Well, did Lion-O kill him?
It's at 12/27/16. Yeah, it looks like it's in the comics they killed He-Man.
Okay, well, that's different.
No, because that's what they killed Superman.
It's the Thundercats.
I'm sorry. Let's just focus for a second on a He-Man Thundercats crossover.
It's kind of amazing, actually. I want it.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, Thundercats were great, man. They were great.
They're on the loose.
Mumra's okay. So Prince Adam, He-Man, depowered, right, was stabbed through the chest by his own sword at the hands of Mumra.
Ooh,
I gotta get that.
Yes,
now. That's awesome.
Sweet, sounds amazing. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, then the whole funeral scene, all I saw was like Man-at-Arms and that big thing. Like I don't know, like
he's got like a burger.
Can we say that one? That's the worst movie I think it's ever been made.
Masters of the Universe?
Yes, with Dolph Lundgren. Post Rocky IV.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like that
it's bad,
you
but it still has a special place.
But you could have made it Flash Gordon-y when it was when it was campy, but it was awesome.
This is what I will say about this movie. It might be terrible and they might have made mistakes as far as like taking it out of Eternia, which seems like the biggest no-no. Why bring it to Earth when you have all of this to use?
Should have went to Druidia, then it would be better.
What I will say
she doesn't look Jewish.
I believe that you pronounce his last name Langella, Frank Langella, or Langella?
Is it Langella? Yeah,
Langella. His portrayal of Skeletor, especially in that third act when he receives the power from Castle Grayskull, dude, there is no better acting by any person on the planet on screen ever.
Damn it! Now I have to go back and watch this again.
Right there.
The views and opinions expressed by Jim McKnight does not necessarily that of the ITintheD show.
It is though. Seriously, like that whole scene where he's like the power is coming into him and he's like gaining. Dude,
I'm gonna have to go watch it again.
Yes, it's so
Damn
good.
It.
So good.
Suck, Jimmy. I know.
No, it's seriously, it's so good. Like it's almost that good. If you get drunk, you might tear up.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. The Power Rangers, the movie, it looks like because that awesome like dark like the rated R almost version of that fan film came out. And we're like, oh my god, that would be the best thing ever.
That
right?
I'm in.
Right.
But this one that they're doing doesn't look that. It looks like they're going to do a good job doing it. It doesn't look. It looks like it makes sense.
Dark. It's still going to be family friendly.
Right. It needs to be family friendly.
Absolutely. That's the whole
because when we interviewed your boy JDF, Jason David Frank, for those playing at home, no, that's the first thing we talked to him about was like he goes, he can't be, because he denounced it right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it's kind of like making Batman and Superman like rated R with like boobs and like really you just can't do that.
What that fan?
Boobs and wieners, yeah.
Just through the Jason David Frank drop in.
What that fan film did is, and of course Jason David Frank has to denounce that right away because he's Saban's cash cow. He is the main guy. He is the most popular.
Why does he have one name though? Can we talk about that for a minute?
Saban?
Yes.
Well, it's Haim Saban.
Oh,
but it's Saban Brands, so he's just Saban. But you got it.
Well, how do you trust somebody with 3 first names?
You can't.
Jason David Frank.
There needs to be a movie, Land of the People with 3 names. So like,
because you're either a serial killer or an assassin.
Jason David Frank with Tiffany Amber Thiessen,
John Wayne Gacy.
No, you can't have John Wayne Gacy. Mark Paul Gosselaar.
But the 3 first name thing freaks me out.
No, Jason David Frank. Oh my God, I don't trust people too. Like you have an S at your name, otherwise I wouldn't trust you. But like, you can't trust him, or it's a double negative, and then you can.
Because there's 3.
Right.
Yeah, right. The third one cancels.
Because it's like John Wayne, not trustworthy.
Right.
Jason David Frank, maybe trustworthy.
100%. Right.
Oh, interesting.
But see, what that fan film did is, and you're right, he has to denounce it because that's his job.
It brought us all back, dude.
And it did because it's like,
all back.
Here's something that we see now in a new adult light, and they might want to, crap on it as much as they want to. If that fan film did not come out, we would not have Power Rangers now this year coming out.
And I guess like that's the thing. Like so, I finally sat down not too long ago and watched Deadpool, and I caught a little flack for this, but like, it was all right. Like I didn't think it was worth all the hype that it had going for it. But one of the things that I think is significant coming out of Deadpool is because of the popularity and because of the money bags that happened. I think we're going to see more darker, R-rated comic book hero yada yada stuff coming out that is a little bit more adult oriented and not so family friendly.
I agree with you, and I think some of it truly needs to be to really show what these characters can do.
Wasn't Barbed Wire was one of the first rated?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
that was a comic book movie, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, it showed boobies, no wieners. But I'm just saying it wasn't a.
Well, I mean, there was heavy
campy.
metal, but that was animated.
And then the Crow.
True.
That had a pretty graphic rape scene right in the beginning. I mean, that was one of the first comic book movies.
Yeah.
They've done some stuff.
Aren't they redoing the Crow?
I've heard that.
I heard that.
Don't.
And what's
with Aquaman,
dude? And I didn't even know.
No.
Did you know that there were sequels to that?
Yeah, Crow 2.
Like, no.
With the Yellow Ranger, just saying.
I did not know that. So like I'm flipping, like I couldn't sleep the other night, and I'm flipping channels, and like there was a Crow 4.
What?
No.
With the kid from Terminator 2, Eddie Furlong.
What?
And I'm like, are you shit? And I have to watch this now, and it's as crappy as you would expect it to be.
Wasn't Tara Reid in there or something? Some dumb blonde chick.
The Crow, Wicked Prayer, 2005.
Oh, it's so bad.
With Eddie Furlong.
No.
David Boreanaz, and Tara Reid.
It's got Angel in it? Oh, no.
Bob's favorite, Tara Reid. Speaking of Comic-Con.
Good God.
For those who missed last year's Comic-Con, there was a very deep, touching moment where Bob serenaded Tara Reid with Careless Whisper. And then George Michael. There's the
tie-in.
The segue of all segues.
Karaoke last weekend sucked ass, by the way. Everyone has to sing every George Michael song ever.
Of course.
Yeah. Then again, I was the guy that sang She's Like the Wind after Patrick Swayze died, so.
Well, and it's, it's the equivalent of, so last week, good luck finding alcohol anywhere in a mire. This week, good luck finding anything, healthy. Because all those New Year's resolutions that everybody's making.
Yeah. I text these guys at MM Meyer getting some food, and the midway where they have all the specials. This one, there was an entire section devoted to liquor. This huge, like 1,000 bottles of liquor on this thing. And then today, it's all whey protein and granola. The same section. I'm like, these assholes just totally, they
know us.
Yeah, they totally know us. And I bought from both times I went. So
I'm gonna get this granola.
So hold on. Where do you, obviously you rank, we were promising a battle.
Okay.
Where's Power Rangers go to with Star Wars?
Ooh. It's really apples and
I'm not asking you to pick a favorite child.
I have 2 words for you. Darth Maul. Darth Maul drops into Power Rangers universe
Perfectly.
They're all dead.
Quickly.
Or even as much as I, kind of jagged on it, Vader, end of Rogue One, dropped into Power Rangers. They're all dead.
Pigface wanted on 12 systems. Probably they're all dead. Like,
I would say anytime you have people that have been trained in a form of fighting for thousands of years with electric swords and they show up to Earth to fight high schoolers, I think Star Wars wins. And I love Power Rangers, but I'm sorry.
So hold on. Lightsaber, Randy, tweet this. Lightsabers greater than
power coins.
Power coins. You heard it here first, kids.
Jimmy just lost all of his listeners.
Yeah, I know, totally.
You betrayed us.
Blasphemer. Hashtag blasphemer.
At Ninja Starship Podcast.
Right. Well, and actually, I guess speaking of Star Wars, we did mention, Carrie Fisher died. Apparently, she had all of her scenes filmed for Ep9 or Ep8, sorry, already.
Yes.
So they won't have to deal with her dying until, I don't know, whether they CGI a death in at the end or Ep9.
They'll write something in.
She's going to die off screen. I'm calling it now. Between episode 8 and 9, she'll die off screen.
No,
episode 9 will start with her funeral.
It'll be like The Crow, and what's the scene when Brandon Lee dies, and then when do they you try to watch the whole movie just to find that one part where he died, and just where it's not Brandon Lee anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Or the Matrix, where the Oracle died between the first and the second one. They brought back someone who almost looked like her.
Really?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and then they played that off. Because I remember they got asked about that at a con, and they were like, "Oh, well, but it's different realities, and so it's still the Oracle, but it's not quite." But the little girl from the Poltergeist series died during very early in filming Poltergeist 3. And
there was a Poltergeist 3.
There was.
They got stuck with 3 houses that were haunted. That sucks ass.
It's the luck that one family had.
They need a new realtor.
Yeah, exactly. You just start walking around houses like one of those ground penetrating detectors. But she died very early in filming, and so they had to I think they brought in a sister or a cousin or something that looked enough like her to get, because this was before you could have Carrie Fisher age 18 at the end of Rogue One with
Sorry
CGI.
about your sister dying. Do you want to be famous?
Yeah,
right. or not, because nobody will know you're not her, that it's not her. Except for
Hey, but the paycheck,
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is.
So what else, Jimmy? Let's drop some bombs before you got to get out of here.
Bringing on to the Oracle thing, how you mentioned that, as far as I know about the Oracle, the lady who originally played the Oracle died.
Yeah.
And then the next lady that played her was friends with her. She died. Right
really?
after the next one. Yeah, that's why. Then she's not in the third one, right? Or is she at the very end? Because it's it was they had I remember because they were it was the curse of the Oracle. It was the big deal online when this movie was getting made, because they were they keep dying.
Which one was the one with the stupid albino twins with dreadlocks?
That was the second one.
All right, because that one I've only seen once.
That one did have an epic semi-truck fight.
It did. I don't know that she was in there. I don't think she was in there.
Wikipedia says it was Gloria Foster for The Matrix and The Matrix Reloaded, and Mary Alice for The Matrix Revolutions.
Okay.
Oh, so died after the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and Wikipedia can't be wrong.
Never.
I read it on the internet.
You can't.
It must be true.
No, because here's the thing with Wikipedia. You try to put something false on there, and there'll be 7,200 neckbeards that'll fix you. That's as reliable as anything on the planet.
Better than Snopes?
Yes. See, you have the neckbeard army. There was a time where we were trying to Drew Stanton from Michigan State quarterback and try to squeeze a word in on his Wikipedia page. That thing would get changed within milliseconds. They're who's watching this?
Who's got notifications set up on the Drew Stanton page?
Because all I wanted to do was send a link to my friends going, I put a funny word in.
You got the one guy whose phone goes off going, actually, no.
Yeah. Seriously, how do you catch this? Yeah, so I'll put Wikipedia up as legit as ever.
Right.
Anyway, nothing wrong with groupthink.
Seriously. The Reddit army, lay Reddit, whatever. Yeah. All right, we done?
Yeah, we can be done. So next week we've got Elena Farnsworth coming in from Mobile Comply, talking about all the connected car stuff because the auto show is going to be in town.
Then we have Matt and Mike coming in.
We got Mike Brennan and Matt Roush coming in from the M Squared TechCast.
Yep.
It's here on Mondays,
talking all things auto show.
Yep, in fact they're grabbing our handhelds. They'll be down there Sunday at the charity preview and a lot of Monday too. So hopefully they'll grab some interviews that we may drop in here. Who knows? With folks that are down there. So yeah, I guess don't forget. It's January 19th.
January 19th, Nancy Whiskey.
Is Nancy Whiskey.
Thank you to Fellows for sponsoring the show. We appreciate.
FELLOWES.
Yes, correct.
Yes.
On behalf of Bob, David, Nuri, appreciate the time spent with us as always. And do us a favor.
Find Jimmy at
ninjastarpod.com.
Can I go now?
Yes.
Drink.
Got to handle the formalities.
Drink up your drinks. Get your phone numbers. You don't got to go home. You just got to get the hell out of here. Drive careful. See you soon. Beat it.
The emergency destruct system is now activated.
Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Long live Flash. You've saved your ass. Have a nice day.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Nice shooting, son. What's your name? Murphy.
Make the run. The run. Game over, man. It's game over. It's over, Johnny. It's over. Nothing is over. Nothing. You just don't turn it off.
I can't say no, and I don't really want to, so.
Well, especially with the back doors open.
Yo! Hold up! Time out! Time out! Y'all take a chill. You need to cool that shit out. And that's the double truth. Root.
Bob loves it in the can.
I hope this was as much fun for you as it was for me.
That's why I like it in the can.
Joe on the trees.
Fear me.
My job is to make sure this program is morally upright and cultural and wholesome.
Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy! Shut up, Mimsy!
Why would Buick put their cars next to the Bentleys? Why? That's not marketing.
The alphabet.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, I can't take that position.
That analogy sucks because it's right.
Because you're getting your 8-track tuned up.
Are we at a break yet? Yeah, so now I'm just doing stupid stuff to make me laugh.
Venture capital is not the end game.
When are we going to talk about me?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
It's my show. I can say what I want.
Kiss my ass, go home, unplug, get off the goddamn internet. You are everything that is wrong with the internet right now.
You're so white right now.
I'm the whitest guy in the room. Just explain it to me.
I love this city.
I was banging on the wang.
Really? Should we talk about this? Tag team it. Should I keep going or should I stop?
Can I just say, it's been great being on a show that talks about Mickey Rooney dying for 20 seconds and then poop for 10 minutes.